I flip on the book of face.
Book of Face.
Yeah, I know where to go. There's a man over there into the music scene.
Show me some love.
For the community. With great advice, I know who I should go see.
Sing it, Ceris.
All round radio.
Show.
That's where I go for the latest brand and fun. It's the
Radio.
show for the music that comforts my soul. It's the all around town radio show. All around town radio.
Boom.
Ooh.
Are you calling your friends to a drinking party? Have you seen that meme? Have you seen that meme on Facebook where the lady comes out of her door and she screams and all the neighbor women come out with their bottles of booze and they're making these animal noises?
Bird sound. It's the bird.
Yes,
sounds.
it's wild. It's cool.
And
It
it's like
is.
all birds fighting.
What's shaking, Bacon? How are you today?
I'm good.
Are
I'm
you?
good. Busy day, good day. It's all good. How's your day?
It's going all right. I'm busy. Got a little trivia to do tonight. You know how that is. But
Nice.
we're going to be all right. We're going to have some fun. It's not going to be a patio night, I can tell you that.
No.
Mother Nature is a biatch today. Yes. You're being very quiet.
You meant to say bitch.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for clarifying that.
You're welcome.
You know, it's always nice to have you here. And, get my beep ready. There we go. All right.
I'm back, baby. I'm back.
You are. Welcome back, Ceris. We missed you last week. We had you for a snippet of a second.
Yeah, it was a great show, though.
Thank you. Yeah, Melissa did great. She
Yeah,
was
no doubt.
very informative. And then we had, phone in. It was fun. It was.
Who phoned in?
Dave Shores, who has done
yeah.
sound and production forever and ever and ever. So he had a good, he's the stage manager at Stubbs Park in Centerville. They do big Sunday concert series there for the city. So it was cool. And we got a chance to drift away, as Dobie Gray would say, a little bit from the norm. And we talked more about things that go on at big festivals and productions and all that. And how to
both
be
of those two.
nice.
Perfect for that.
Yeah,
Daisy.
absolutely. Is Daisy in the house?
Daisy. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw somebody tagged you in a post too. My daughter found a dog at the park today, and she's working hard to get someone to at least foster it for a bit because she has 3 dogs, and one of them's a little territorial and wouldn't be real receptive. But this is a sweetheart dog, and it's cool. I wish I had a picture to put up, but it's on my page. I shared it on my personal page, so hopefully somebody's going to jump on it. And I saw somebody tagged you in it as well on my daughter's page, which I thought was interesting.
That is
So yeah,
world.
it is, but everybody knows who loves the pups, and you are one of them. Is Daisy Daisy going to make an appearance, or is Daisy
Would
just
you
hanging?
like Daisy? Daisy.
We would
come here.
love to see Daisy today. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show, by the way. We're just chatting. Look at all these people who are checking in today. Oh, there's the love. Let me do an extreme close-up. Can I do that? Is that okay with you?
Daisy, say hi to
All right,
everybody.
there we go.
Say
Let me.
hi, everybody.
Hi, Daisy.
Hi,
Let
Daisy.
me get that banner off. There we go. We can see Daisy better. All right. Wow. What a sweetheart.
She's camera shy.
Is she?
Yeah,
Unlike her mom there, who's not camera shy a bit.
I
Oh.
mean,
By the way, you look marvelous today. I just want you to know that.
you're just being sweet.
No, I'm red. Look at this camera thing.
too.
Yours is doing it too. Now today, the closer we get, the whiter we get, and the redder we get. If we get, it's weird. Look at that. Ooh. Okay, let's chat today.
Fun.
We have a lot of people on here. Let me say hi to some people. You want to chat and say hi to folks?
Howdy, everybody. Oh,
let's
great.
see.
Yes, confirmed. 1 to 3. Boom.
Great.
Me
Who?
forgetting to get back to people.
Who?
Steve Gray.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Ryan, Kevin. Hi, everybody. Billy, Alex.
Bill, John Barry, the mayor of Hamilton.
Tina,
All right. Ray Renee. Susan is in the house. Hello. She says it's super windy outside where she is. All right. James Banks says, no one is a bitch. It's just the bitch. Well, thank you, James. Banko for sending that one in. Billy's in the house. She's loving on Daisy. Gina McCann loving on Daisy. Hey, did you see the good news for our boys from CFG and the family? We mentioned it yesterday.
I was there.
Were you there? Well, you went?
I went, but I had to leave because I had a party and and I had to like run out of there.
Well, thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it.
It was open to the public.
I'm hurt now. Well, I should at least get an invitation from my
To be fair, I didn't hear about it until the day before.
You know, I really didn't either.
I had no idea what was happening.
And I had some other stuff that I had to take care of business that day, but I would have loved to have been there. It looked like a great show. And Johnny and Gina killed it as well on their band.
It was insane.
I saw the videos Wild Bill put up.
It was
he's doing it.
It was going to be between Gina and CFG and Gina and Johnny and CFG.
And I mentioned on yesterday's show what a class act Gina was with her post and congratulating them and all that. And I mean, that's true music community right there.
Gina is a class act.
She is. We love her. We love her dearly. Hi, Braden. Thank you for being here.
She is a class act too, though. I got to say.
Hey, there's my good friend Mark Combs. He's in Exuma, Bahamas. Mark is the captain of a great big yacht. He is. And Mark
May I take a ride on your yacht?
Living his best life. Above deck, not below deck. Yes. What do we got? What else is happening here? Brian Scott. Hi, Brian Scott. There's Steve. Steve. All right, Karis, we're already 7 minutes in. We haven't even talked about the topic. So you want to, wow. Acoustic guitar in Steve's hand rehearsing songs for his shameless plug for the Bell Dwellers on July 14th.
Killer band.
Which is going to be great. Opening up for Vixen. I'll be there too.
Yeah, you'll.
I'll be there too. Yes. Get your tickets and find out how good that's going to be, folks. You still got tickets?
Yes.
There's still some available? Okay.
Yeah.
Brian, I hope you're well too, buddy. Good to see you on here. Someday I'll come down and see you at the old Queen City Harley where Brian is
working,
selling them pretty bikes.
Nice.
He is. And they are nice ones. Hi, Tim. Thanks for joining us today. All right, Karis, let's chat about the topic.
Let's do this.
It's interesting. And Steve Black commented on it earlier as well as we put it up on the page what the topic was. I want to say that, yes, we know this has been going on a long time. It just seems to be more and more prevalent today in the world of music that artists are going multi-genre.
So let me understand this. So we're talking about bands that, let's just say, usually play one genre, then all of a sudden they start switching it up. Is that what we're saying?
Well, yeah, or slowly bring other genres into their set list. And it seems to be the thing that's going on. And even the other night when I saw Zach Brown at Great American Ballpark, I mean, Zach Brown's playing rock and roll, and he's not necessarily known as a rock band. I mean, he is, but he isn't. And I mean, he's playing stuff like Queen and Beastie Boys and stuff like that. And it's like, wow. And they put that in their set list when he's got 16 number one hits on the radio, that he could have played, but he chose to change it up a little.
I wonder if people do that because they're just bored of what they're singing.
I don't know. Let's ask the musicians on here. What's your thought on this? Because it's been going on for quite a while. And Steve Black kind of called it to my attention. He said it really started in the 90s with 90s country. And 90s country started to blend in and become very popular. And even the rock bands were playing some country stuff in their set. Saw it just the other night with Marsha Brady. They had some country tunes in their set along with dance and pop and rock and a mixture of stuff. So, it seems to be going on. It does.
There's some bands, I think to expand on this, there's some bands that don't really venture out at all. And then there's some that just do it and they just shouldn't. Like I understand having your genre, but like there's some rock bands that will be like, okay, we're only playing this kind of rock, but they're like the deep rooted songs that really only a handful of people would really know, and they're not willing to play anything that perhaps more of the norm would know, that a bar crowd would know, you know?
I don't know. That's a good point. I think that's a valid point too.
I don't think that works very well. I think if that's what you want to do, then I'm assuming you have your originals and you're, doing stadiums, because if you're trying to get gigs at bars, that's not really, that's going to be difficult. Like you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to accommodate all.
What's up, Sean Cooper? Yeah, I've never seen a lot of success, and maybe somebody will correct me if they think I'm wrong here, but I've never seen a ton of success on a cover band playing deep tracks, going like deep into the album and saying, oh, we're going to maybe one or two a night you go somewhere and you hear, but if that's their choice, it's almost like playing originals. I mean, you're never going to get booked as much as you are locally by playing covers. I mean, it's just in popular covers too.
And I think that's when having multiple different types of set lists is important. Okay, if this is what you want to play, then you better have an accommodating couple of set lists for bars. So that way you can still get booked into bars. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you're doing opening gigs, then you can play, like for national acts, then you can play your more deep-rooted songs. But I mean, I know a couple of bands lately that have been going out of their genre. I was like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, bro. Like, it's fine. Just.
Yeah. Why do you think they do that? If they've got a good product, why do you think they're venturing out because they're just sick of the same old songs, like you said? I mean, it could be.
Maybe it's that, or maybe they're thinking that people want to hear it. Listen, if somebody wants to hear a rock band, then they'll go see a rock band. There's no shortage of those. If somebody wants to go see a funk band, they'll go see a funk band. I just think.
It's weird because it's hard to define genre today. Who's acting up?
Thor's just chewing on something that
he shouldn't be. Thor, stop that right now. Right now, Thor. So yeah, it's weird. Daisy's looking at me like, hey, did somebody just say stop it? We kind of lump bands into cover band status, and we lump them into these genres of they're either country or they're rock or they're party band, dance band, whatever. Call it what you want, funk, dance. It's weird when they do a set and they come out like rock blazing and it's like classic rock and you've heard all these songs, you sing along to it, and then the next set all of a sudden they morph into this dance band. And I don't know, for me it's kind of strange sometimes. Does it work? I don't know. You tell me, you're the bar owner. You're the one that really sees, does that, when they change it up, does it run people off? Does it keep people? Does it make them dance? I don't know, Well,
I can tell you that when I book a rock band, I'm booking a rock band. And when I'm booking a dance band, I'm booking a dance band. And when I'm booking a funk band, I'm booking a funk band. You know what I mean? I think throwing in a song here and there maybe isn't a big deal, but I get you get burnt out on your songs, but that's what we're booking because that's what we know.
Right.
Like that's what we are basing that booking on, is what we know you for. Now, if you want to throw in a song here and there and be like, oh man, that was a nice surprise, like, getting like a finger in the butt or something. But other than that, you're just like, stick to what you're good at.
Oh. Oh, goodness.
I also think that it's
my parents watch this show.
I also think it's important to, see if it works. You do have to, if you don't try it, you'll never know.
Well, Diana just said it's because they want to stretch themselves sometimes.
Yeah.
I get it. I do. And I do get this same old. I get that. But Bob Klein had the best comment about that, I think, that we've had all day. And that's, if a band becomes successful for doing a certain style of music, stick with it.
Stick with it. Throw in a few humps there and there. But,
I mean, how many million selling record people have we seen in our lives who decide, I'm going to morph into somebody else? And then all of a sudden they quit selling millions of records. I mean, it's like, is it because I've done what I wanted to do now? I've sold my million selling album and I'm going to go now. I'm going to become this alter ego or something. And I think local bands really have to be careful with how much they mix it up, because if I want to go see Blackbone Cat, let's say, I really don't want to hear Blackbone Cat do Tennessee Whiskey. I mean, I just don't. That's not why I'm going to see their show. And they don't, obviously, but that's just an example of an extreme, I guess. And I hear some of these same country songs getting pushed into the sets of bands because, yes, they're popular. Yes, they're popular. But it's like a heavy rock band, 1330, playing Bruno Mars. It ain't going to happen. And shouldn't happen.
No.
Because they don't have that look either. Now, if Chris Reese wants to play Bruno Mars in that band, that fits his mode, I guess, or their stick, so to speak. But I don't know, musicians, tell us.
Because that band actually did throw in a couple of rock songs this past Saturday. And it's not like they're not good. It's not like, I mean, they could pretty much sing anything and they'd sound great, but it was, in my opinion, unnecessary.
Okay. And I think that's a good perspective because people that come to see them, I mean, when they did the Prince show, that's in their wheelhouse. I mean, it was all Prince that night, and they did a tribute to Prince. I get it. It's in their wheelhouse. But I guess it comes a little bit, Ceris, from playing festivals, I think. The more festivals and outdoor events they do, the wider the audience. So they're trying to appeal to a bigger mass crowd.
Which, and I was going to say, and I think that's why they did that. And I think that's because they were testing it out. I think, I'm not 100% sure. But I can tell you that the dance floor emptied out. I can tell you that it wasn't in that bar a crowd favorite. Again, that is not to say that they didn't sound incredible, because it's that band. They sound incredible no matter what. But that's not why the dance floor is full.
And Ray, I think your comment there is interesting, because classic rock, if you have a dance crowd, you're a party band, let's say, and throwing in some classic rock tunes that keep the dance floor humping, I don't think that's a problem. I think that's okay, because what's tried and tested. But there's also where you can absolutely put the brakes on a whole room if you throw something in there that's, some slow, great, probably million-selling country song in the middle of your set, and it's slow and tearing your beer and all that. People just hit the brakes and they're like, this is not what we're doing tonight. That's not what we wanted to do. If I want to go see sad country songs, I know a ton of bars I can go see it in. They do great. People there go to see that, but I don't know. I'm trying to get to all the comments here. Taylor Swift, Glenn says, Taylor Swift did very well, changing from one genre to the next. Yeah, she went from country to pop. She changed completely.
She was country?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Early on.
Really a Taylor Swift.
And she went pop. She saw where her audience was, and she went there, and that's cool. And I mean, it's okay. But you also, Glenn, I think, know many a band that's been hugely popular, especially some of the 70s bands that went into the 80s and had to morph in. I mean, everybody did a disco song in the 70s. Hell, the Rolling Stones and Kiss did disco songs. What was up with that, And those songs sold okay, but they went back to what they were, and that's a rock band. And I don't know. It's just Scott's thought on the thing. And Cincy Local in Life says, do what they know, what gets the gig. Stop listening to the drunk people in the front row. Amen to that. We're not here on request night. Now, the Hanky Panks do that. It works for them. They have people fill out slips, but they're one of those bands that's like a rolling jukebox. I mean, you could tell you, it's almost like Stump the Band. I want to
fine. They're different.
Whatever. They're a fun band.
Yeah, I don't know many bands that works for, but it definitely works for them, and they're just a ton of fun.
And Steve's comment here about being in 5-Story Plunge for 8 years. Classic tunes. Okay, yeah. But you can be as sick and tired as you want, like Steve said there, but you know what the audience is coming for. And they don't hear them every time you play because they're not there every time you play. But when they do show up, they want to hear them. And that's a double-edged sword. It is. The band's like, if I have to play Mustang Sally one more time,
Sally.
I mean, it's like that. The VFW theme song, as I like to refer to it, because if you don't play that in a VFW gig, you're getting run out of town. You are.
I like that song.
I know. And TJ laughed at Blackbone Cat doing Tennessee Whiskey, but
Blackbone Cat for a little while went a little soft. They're back now, but they definitely went a little soft for a little bit.
Yeah, and that's another side of it. I've seen a lot of people are turning towards the what I like to refer to as the AM radio jams from the 70s. Billy Rock Band does a lot of those songs. He's throwing Steely Dan in there, and guy, who else has he got in there? I can't remember off the top of my head, but he does a really good job with it. But yet they then play some other stuff as well. So nobody's knocking what you're doing out there. I'm just saying, if I go to see a rock band, I want to hear a rock show. And I was surprised the other night by what Zach Brown did. I mean, I was taken back. It was off the hook good, but it was different. A lot of people saying after that show, why did they play all those covers? Interesting. Gina McCann says she loves Joe Cocker. Thank you, Gina.
Joe Cocker too.
We do. And message the band with their requests. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. How many?
Yeah.
Black Brown Cat does. Yeah, I like that. What's Alex Hall got to say? There's Alex. You remember him from when we saw the 15th anniversary of DV8? That's Alex. Yeah.
The blue shirt.
Yeah.
Hi, Alex. I was running to get ice cream. And I feel like I didn't give you the time of day, but ice cream is very important.
Yeah, and Alex, you're spot on with that too.
Yeah,
And
versatile from time to time, depending on the venue and the crowd. A few songs in here is okay. However, most venues hire band shorts. Yeah. Well,
that's what you do.
I'm not in the wheelhouse. What no, I don't hire what's in the wheelhouse of the venue. I hire what I know my crowd likes.
Well, that's the wheelhouse. I mean, in my opinion, you're catering to your audience, and that's what's in their wheelhouse. I mean, not necessarily what you like personally, because if a bar owner books a band based on what they like, they're stupid. Yeah. I mean, they really are.
But I learn a lot from my Thursday, so I know people love the funk, that band. I know people love the rock. I know, you know what I mean? Right. I've tried the heavy rock in there. It just does not work. I wish it did, though.
And there's plenty of venues that are doing that. I mean, there are. I mean, you can go see Flatline, or you can go out to the Blue Note and you can see, some of those guys that are a little heavier. But then you've had Sweet Sister Mercy. They're a little edgy, but they're still popular rock tunes from the 80s and stuff. And
they sometimes play a bit too deep-rooted songs for bars, but they're really good at it.
Chad says Aerosmith and Run DMC invented the crossover genre. They did. Now, Fast Car out there. I can't listen to that. I mean, it's good. The country version is good, but I still like the Tracy Chapman version. That's
I love the Tracy Chapman.
And what Shane got to say, ice cream. He's
ice cream.
All right, let's see what other comments. Bob Klein always got good ones. Good show is 100% about the energy and creating and maintaining a room. Anything that deviates from that formula is a mistake. Yeah. I think if everybody thought that way and didn't think personally, and it's like the bars in Nashville that have the sign up. It's kind of become a joke to bar Wagon Wheel. You can't play Wagon Wheel in their bar. Right. But I don't care where you go. When that song comes on, everybody's singing along and bobbing their heads and doing all that. I mean, yeah.
Let's give a shout out to Patrice for her birthday. Happy birthday, Patrice!
Hola, Patrice. It's good to see her with us, always. There she is. John Barry, you need to do a little help. Okay?
He's singing it right now.
Oh, you want us to sing that? No. John, I think we need a little help. Karis and I need a little help. We need your help today. Write in here and let us know what you think. You can't be all things to all people. Do you and do it well. Johnny Fink, thank you for that words of wisdom, because that is true. That is very true. Patricia, you're most welcome. We love you. Thank you for being here. And Dewey, what's Dewey got to say? Blackbone Cat does an incredible job with Christopher Cross, Ride Like the Wind. They've been asked to stop playing it because it's not rock enough for what they were hired to play. Interesting. That's very interesting. That's what I call yacht rock. It is rock. It's yacht rock from the 70s. I mean,
I'm not a fan of yacht rock, but I'm not going to crucify somebody for playing one yacht rock song. You know what I mean?
Wow, you just got taken off my wife's Christmas card list.
That's okay.
She's a yacht rock fanatic. She is. Hello, Brian Middendorf. How are you? But she's also
Brian.
an ice cream fanatic, and so are you. So you're
Yeah, so we have that
Yes.
going for us.
Ray says she wish more audience members would understand that bands put a lot of practice into these songs. Okay.
They don't care,
Yeah.
Ray.
And that's one thing I admire about the jam band on Thursdays. They can on the fly play just about anything. They're that talented. But many bands that are on stage have their 150 or 200 songs in their little book of tricks, and they just can't learn a song on the fly. It's just not that type of band. And maybe the bass player's new, and maybe this, things change. So, genres are important, I think, in sticking to some sort of genre and how you brand your band. How, do you think that's, branding is important?
Well, I mean, look at the Whammies.
Well, we know what they are.
Exactly. There is no, you're never going to misrepresent or not know what you're getting with the Whammies. And doing 80s I mean, that works for them, and it's brilliant. You look at, you look at that band and that they're funk, soul, a little, you just know there's certain bands you just know. And I think it's important. I think that's very important.
And their shirts even say funk, soul, and rock and roll. I mean, that's kind of the way they kind of tag themselves or brand themselves. I don't know what that means in some ways. I mean, is that funk comes first, soul comes second, and rock and roll third? I don't know, but I know that it works for them. Whatever they're doing is working.
Absolutely.
They're getting booked. And Bob says, if you like yacht rock, check out the Boaterhead from Cleveland. Okay. I will, for sure. And what else we got? Whammies. Reggie says, love the Whammies. Here's Lee Reed. Let's see what Lee Reed has to say. You and Brian are sitting together? Oh, all right. Yeah, you guys are doing a show with Tom Kiefer and Winger this weekend at the Blue Note, right? Is that at the Blue Note? I think it is. I'll know on Thursday. Yes. Spotted Cow from Wisconsin. You boys. All right. Yes, it's at the Blue Note. Ceris, so if a band comes into you and you look at let's say you book them for the first time. They have good videos online. They have a good following. So you're going to give them a shot. And they come in the door and they're totally not what you expect. Do you talk to them afterwards or after the gig and say, you didn't really represent yourself in the fashion that your videos do? Because I've seen this happen lately, that I've seen a band that is like been a rock band. And all of a sudden I went and 2 of the 3 sets were country.
Yeah. Well, they just don't get booked again. And when they try to rebook.
Do you try to explain to them why? I mean, do you ever,
when they're like, can we get another book? I say, no, you can't. And they'll usually go, why? I said, because you misrepresented yourself. I hired you based on this, and you gave me this.
Interesting. I think it's a slippery slope when you're a band and you're branded as something, and you start to interject all these other tunes in. There are special occasions. Now, Tina Turner passed away not too long ago. I heard a couple bands do some Tina Turner songs in their set, and I thought, that's classy. They're adding a couple Tina Turner songs.
Yeah.
It's tribute. It's kind of a, we respect her. We want to give tribute to her or whatever. That's cool.
That's different.
But, if you come in and you decide, again, Tennessee Whiskey, Chris Stapleton's version is so popular, we're going to put it in our set. Why? There are bands doing that every day. Let them do it. You do you, And maybe that is you. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me out there. Y'all, you're musicians. You all have opinions. We know that. And
CFG's genre reminds me a lot of J.J. Grey,
who
is rare in its own, anyways. They're phenomenal.
And CFG can take a song like from the 70s, like Commodore's Easy, and turn it into this bluesy, grab your guts and pull it out song. I mean, they're a unique band.
Turn anything into something magical, in my opinion.
Right.
It's gritty and it's dirty and it's amazing.
And there are novelty acts out there. There are people who play, and novelty act's a bad term, I know, to some people, but I will say there are people. Let's take Gerhard Albinus. He plays an accordion. And here he comes out and he's playing AC/DC on the accordion. And for him, that's what people go to see when they go to see him. I mean, and it's a special audience. It is. It's not, he's not going to play Riverfront Stadium or whatever. He's going to play a bar that he knows people come to follow him and they love the accordion thing, So those are specialty acts, as I like to say. And Rockstar, when they put their wigs on, become another persona. That's their shtick. The Whammies do the 80s thing, the Eagles project. You know what you're getting there. You're getting the Eagles. That's what you came to see. They're certainly not going to come out and play, Beyonce. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
But some bands really throw us a curveball. And I look at the owners in bars because I know most of them when I'm sitting there and they look at me and they shake their head like, where did that come from? And why did they just do that to my crowd?
Well, and then that's the thing, like I'm seeing a lot of bands that are, I don't know if they're just trying to rebrand themselves or what they are, but the crowd that they had or have know them for a certain type of music. And when you throw in something completely different, it's going to throw people off and you're going to get crickets for a little while. I mean, just play what works. And if you're going to rebrand yourself, then you better go full force and just rebrand yourself. Don't call yourself something, the same thing, or you know what I mean? Like just
change your name.
Change your name. Completely change it. Or stick
come out of the chute swinging with a new band.
Yeah.
Whether it's the same people that have formed a new band, that's fine, but it's a new band.
It's a new band. It's not
new following.
Yeah, it's not.
I agree 100% with you. And there's a lot of that going on out there right now. You're seeing it in a lot of places. And it's not all about the notoriety either. I mean, the bands that get notoriety, and I've said it before, tend to grow and grow. And all of a sudden they forget these people that helped them build this notoriety.
Yeah.
And then they morph into something else. And my statement always to anybody in any business is you meet the same people going up the ladder that you meet coming down. You better be nice to them. And if you change your style completely and lose your fans, that's not a good thing.
No.
You better to go out on top.
Well, that's what I say.
Yeah. Jim McCarthy, spot on. Chris Gaines, Garth Brooks did that. And I mean, Garth Brooks had enough money. I mean, he had more money than God. He did. And Garth Brooks could do anything he wants. So he went into this alter ego thing, Chris Gaines, and it was a miserable failure. Let's face it. Some people thought it was cute and neat, but it wasn't Garth Brooks. So he went back to being Garth Brooks. Thank God, because he's a millionaire and a million seller and a great performer and all that. He didn't need to do that. Yeah. And he wore a wig. I know. It just, and Toy, if he were on here, I'd tell him the same thing. Those guys wear wigs and Rockstar. It's their show. They want to do that. That's fine. I'm personally not a fan of the costuming as much, unless you go see somebody like I did last weekend, Arena Rock Show, which that is the production. I mean, that is what you expect to see. Yeah. They're going to change costumes. Dave Moody and Hairball, same thing, And
maybe that's what they're trying to be, because you got to start somewhere, right? You got to start somewhere. It's not my shtick either, but it works for Arena Rock Show and it works for Hairball. And maybe that's, Rockstar is trying to do that. And I think good for them. You got to try,
Right. And I've got nothing against it. It's not necessarily for me. Yeah.
No, not my thing.
And those guys are great and they're fun and they're nice people and all that. And I enjoy being around them. I like to go here and play music. But oftentimes I look at them and think, you don't need the wigs. You're good at what you're doing.
So I'm under the belief that less is more. Unless it's like a specific thing, like when the Whammies, like when we do this like glow party, it's a whole event. You know what I mean? But less is more.
And Glenn, that's a perfect example. I mean, there's an example of more is more. Kiss. They took an idea and they put the face paint on way back in the 70s. They made gazillions off of that thing. I mean, they've had guys replace guys in the band. They still keep the face paint, the whole thing going. They took their makeup off for a while and that didn't necessarily go over as well. And they did I Was Made for Loving You, a disco song, and that kind of stuff.
I mean, just because it works for one doesn't mean it's going to work for another.
No.
I mean, and sometimes, honestly, it's a little sometimes like It worked for Kiss. Like they're here. You know what I mean? Like, let's lower the egos a little bit. It worked for them. Doesn't mean it's going to work for just that. You know, you gotta.
Well, it's given thousands of people a chance to do Kiss tribute bands across the country and not be seen and put makeup on their face. I mean, it really has.
Yeah.
Gives you an opportunity to be theatrical, and that's what they are. Gene Simmons is a master at promotion and bookings and all the things he's done. I mean, you can't fault the guy. They've done wonderful things. I think, Ceris. Yeah, I know I know what you're saying, and nobody's faulting. And what I said, and hope nobody took that wrong about what I said about Rockstar. I said it's just not me, and I think they can stand up in their own right without all that and still be just as good. That's
what I'm saying. And there, but again, it doesn't matter because, in my opinion, you've got to try. If they're trying to be like Arena Rock Show and you have to start somewhere, and this is what they're doing. And I mean, I'll support that 100%. Just, you know, it goes. I don't put beers on tap that I like. I put beers on tap that, you know, right. I want to see if people are going to like. I put bands on stage that I'm going to see that people are going to like them. You know, it's personal opinions vary. Their talent, you know, their talent is there. Nobody, you know, is denying that. Right. I get it. And I think it's an interesting quagmire of how do you maintain your audience as a band, especially a cover band? Because Gina made a comment there about the industry. And once you climb that ladder and you're up there, the industry can eat you alive and force you into being something you're not. But I do think it's important. And when I can't stress this enough because it doesn't happen enough, more so not than it is. The band's not looking in the audience to actually to take the time and actually look at the audience and see if what they're doing is actually working. Ask the venue, is this considered a busy night or is this not considered a busy night? If you notice that all of a sudden, when you usually go from a dance floor full of people actually moving and dancing, and then all of a sudden you switch something up and they're not dancing, they're just sort of standing there or they're actually pulling back, take note of that. Because if it's not working, then it's time to maybe try something else, especially if you're a cover band in Cincinnati or just in any, you know, city that you're trying to get booked in bars. Those things are important. It's really interesting. Everybody at the end of the night's really tired after a band plays. You know, they're tired. They want to pack up and go home. I've known two bands in my life who are extremely successful locally, and they have a post-show critique for about 10 minutes. Somebody writes down all the things they can remember that night. Okay, this song didn't work. That song worked. So when they get back together and put together their next set list, they can look at all that. And they'll say, yeah, guitar player just can't hang on that lead in that song. Maybe we should just drop it from the set till we learn it. And I think that's a positive. I think that's a good thing that bands do. It's a very, and if you think you're too good to do something like that, or you don't think that it can happen to you, trust me, it does. I've seen the best fail. I've seen the best bands fail. It's nobody is too good not to pay attention to the crowd. Thank you, Shane. The crowd is the most important people in that room, not the bar owner, the crowd. And quit saying, wait for the second set. Our best songs are there. We say it every show. That drives me nuts. Why aren't you playing them in the first set? You should come out of the chute like you're running the Kentucky Derby, man. You want to come out of the chute fast and hard, and that's not happening. I'm trying to remember I can't remember when it was, but I just remember wow, this was slow. I was like, let's move this shit up. Let's do this. Well, and I will say it also has to do, and we got to end this up. We're about out of time, but it also has to do with where you're coming from. We've talked about bands who come from out of the area and they come in, they don't necessarily have a following there. So sometimes that can lose the engagement, even when you're really good. Yeah. It can. I sat in a bar not too long ago with a great band that were fantastic. And at midnight, it was me, my wife, two bartenders, and one other couple. As their last song played, and these guys rocked it from start to finish. I mean, they were awesome. Right. And it's just a shame that, and this bar goes a little later. So, that's part of the reason I think people were
headed home.
Yeah, we clear out early. We clear out early too. It's like in the summer, we're a little bit later, but we clear out early. I don't know. People always say they read the room, but they don't. As an outsider, sitting back and watching, they're not reading the room.
No, not at all. And thank you for that, Chad. I appreciate that. That's a good look too. And so much is built on R&B. I think it is all the music, and that's a whole other show in itself about how people build their set list on what they're doing. Hi, Eddie. Thanks for being here. Standard Country Time Band in the house. Thank you. And Ceris, we got to roll. We've been doing this 40 minutes, but it's been a good talk today about it. What do you have in your hot little hand? I don't know.
This or that.
Is it a promo?
Oh no, it's a this or that. I don't do promo.
Oh, okay.
My face is my promo.
Hold on. Before we do whatever, your face is your promo. Really?
Well, because I wear the bell and the bear.
Get your best radio voice on, dear.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of our sponsors or any entities they represent.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. What do you got for me today?
This or that. You ready?
I'm fastening my seatbelt. I'm ready.
All right. Ed Sheeran or Coldplay?
Coldplay.
I like that one. Elvis or Jerry Lee Lewis?
Elvis.
Johnny Cash or Garth Brooks?
Ooh. I'm going to say Garth. I love Johnny Cash, but Garth is the master performer. He is.
So you're going by performance and not necessarily. Okay, that's fine.
Not necessarily musical talent, unless you want me to say that. And then it's Johnny Cash all the way because his songs were great.
I like to hear that.
Okay.
Creedence
All right.
Clearwater or Cream?
I'll go Cream.
I like Cream too. Yeah. All right.
Keep going.
But I like Creedence as well. Happy songs
right.
or sad songs?
Oh, happy all the way.
Melody or lyrics?
Lyrics.
80s or 90s?
80s.
Okay. Give up air conditioning and heat for the rest of your life or give up internet for the rest of your life?
Say that again. Sorry.
Give up air conditioning and heat for the rest of your life or give up internet for the rest of your life?
Oh, I'll give up internet.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Read your thoughts or have somebody read your thoughts or have access to your internet history?
I'm going to say internet history. I don't care.
Okay. Swim in a pool filled with Nutella or maple syrup?
Oh, we're going syrup all the way.
Really? That's
Sticky sweet from my head to my feet.
Personal maid or personal chef?
Personal chef. I like groceries.
Get kicked in the balls or be forced to listen to someone talk about how great they think they are and who also has awful breath for 3 hours?
Kick me right square in the peanuts.
Would you rather eat ice cream with ketchup or a banana with ketchup?
Oh, I'll say banana.
Okay. Dive into a pool of semen or blood?
Oh my God. Really?
Yes.
This is your this or that questions?
Yes.
Blood.
Oh. Have the most incredible sex for a week or for a week straight or a lifetime supply of Pillsbury Crescent rolls with extra butter?
Did I just say I like groceries a minute ago? Oh, I know what I'm supposed to say here, but I'm going to go crescent rolls.
I would literally go with crescent rolls too.
Yes.
I can masturbate. Lick Jamie Combs' eyeball or suck his toe?
Oh my God. Wait a minute.
What the hell?
Yes. I'm going to say his eyeball may be safer than sucking his toe. So I'm going to go with the eyeball.
All right. That's it. That's all you get.
I don't know where Jamie's toes have been. He's kind of freaky. All right. Thanks, Ceris.
Thank you. Happy to be back.
I am glad to have you back. You're here next week, or are you have a week off next week?
No, I'm here next week. I'm off like the week of like the 26th.
Oh. So we'll need a co-host for that week.
We
will.
do.
Anybody out there that wants to be a co-host that day, but you got to be as pretty as Ceris. It's going to be tough. It is. It's tough. Thank you, Gina McCann. Thank you, Rob Wright.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, Rob. Hot topic there. Read the room. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Ceris, you're awesome.
You're awesome, Scott.
Thanks so much. Who's going to say bye today? Or who, you know, since we talked about toes, let's do this.
Hi, this is Jamie Combs. I'm a local musician. And when I want to know what's going down, I check out All Around Town Radio.
All around town, you ready to?
Thank you, everybody. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow at noon, where I have More Than Zero joining the show on Wednesday with the band. Ceris will be back with me next Tuesday for Hot Topic Tuesday. Every Monday, it's our weekend update. And don't forget our Thursday show, the most important one of the week, where we bring you Who's Playing Out, brought to you by Froggies in Monroe, Ohio. And you can hear the best musicians and venues in the tri-state playing your week of music with us. Thanks so much for being here. Rob Wright says More Than Zero rocks. Well, tune in tomorrow to find out about them if you don't know them, or watch later. Rebecca, thanks for tuning in from Texas. We love you. Thank you. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ceris.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob, for your input.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Kara. Thank you, Marty.
Oh, Kara was sending angry faces for me liking Garth Brooks more than Johnny Cash. Well, I clarified it. See y'all.